Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Coffee, where today I'm going to be answering a question that I've been seeing in the comments for about a week now, at least 15 times a day, and that is, what do you know about Anakin appearing in The Rise of Skywalker? And so we're going to answer that question in today's video. But before we get into today's video, I want to say thank you to all of our returning coffee drinkers here at Star Wars Coffee, and if you're new and you love Star Wars, join our community here, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and hit that notification bell to become what we here call a daily coffee drinker. But with that being said, let's get into today's topic. Will Anakin appear in The Rise of Skywalker? So I've been getting this comment a lot over the last week or two about Anakin since I started doing the Jedi Paxis, MakingStarWars.net, what we know about The Rise of Skywalker thus far. And here is what we know about Anakin in terms of his involvement. There isn't any. There was no involvement with Anakin in The Rise of Skywalker other than the fact that we're getting Darth Vader's mask reappearing where Kylo Ren is going to be talking to it again. Okay, other than that, there's no Anakin. I know we've gone to 3 years of this at this point, 2017, 2018, and now we're in 2019, where we're debating or not whether or Anakin is coming back in The Rise of Skywalker. And the answer is simply no. The leaks do not point to it. There is no credible source that says anything about Anakin reappearing. There is only a bunch of clickbait around the internet on a bunch of comic book sites and on some type of YouTube channels where they're just talking speculatively about, oh, Anakin's gonna come back, and he's not. Hayden Christensen has had no involvement in Star Wars other than doing the celebration last year. If Anakin was involved in any way, there is no way that Jason Ward would not know about this. There is no way that Jedi Paxis would not know about this. There's no way that Bespin Bulletin would not know about this. There's just simply no way that nobody in the leak community would know about this, right? If you think about it, they've all got sources. Somebody would definitely want to be giving the big tip of Anakin is going to be in it, here's how, this is when. None of that's happened. The closest thing we're getting to that is Palpatine, right? We see that in the D23 poster. We hear his laugh in the trailer. So this idea that Anakin is going to be somehow coming back as a Force ghost to save the day is nonsense in terms of the actual leaks and what they point to. Now, in terms of story, that's a whole different discussion, and maybe I'll talk about that in a different video, but briefly, I'll touch on it, is it would make sense for Anakin to be that Skywalker in The Rise of Skywalker, for Anakin to somehow rise from the realm of the Force to save the day and talk to Rey and train Rey and talk to Kylo and tell Kylo. That's probably how this storyline should have gone, and I think I will actually make a video about that, but that's besides the point. The point is George Lucas didn't do this film, right? He didn't do this trilogy. He sold Star Wars. So what we're left with is Disney's version of Star Wars, which isn't really touching on the prequels. If you go back and look at The Force Awakens and all of the press that it was getting and everything that Disney was doing on the inside, they didn't want to touch anything from the prequels in that. They really didn't. They didn't want to touch the prequels because they knew that there was still a lot of sore spots for a lot of fans, and they wanted it to stick to more of the original trilogy. And that is exactly what they did. They're not bringing in Anakin. The closest, again, that they got is to get Hayden to appear at the Star Wars Celebration. But none of the credible leaks. There's probably some bonehead on 4chan saying, yeah, Anakin's gonna come back, but you can say anything you want on 4chan. Anakin's not coming back. There is no leaks that point to it, and if there was, it's extremely, extremely under wraps. And nobody would know about it. But somebody knew about it in The Last Jedi. I reported on Yoda being in The Last Jedi for I don't know how many months, and that ended up happening. The Force Ghost that we knew was coming back. We know Luke's going to be a Force Ghost in this film because Mark Hamill's slated to appear in the movie. So that's not a secret. But Yoda in The Last Jedi was supposed to be a secret, and we knew about that well before, right? We knew Frank Oz was at Pinewood. We knew that he was maneuvering a Yoda puppet. We knew that he was doing some voiceover work. There was just a trail to follow for that. There is absolutely no trail to to follow for Hayden Christensen appearing in The Rise of Skywalker. And if there was, I'd be the first one to say, make a video on it, that this is actually going to happen. But I'm not going to do that until I know it's actually going to happen, or until somebody who's a credible source says that it's going to happen. And if I express some doubts in it, and they express some doubts, I will be sure to let you know. Because I would not want to get anybody's hopes up to say that Anakin's going to be in The Rise of Skywalker, only for him not to be, because that would be disappointing to me, because Anakin is such a cool character, and the rise and fall of him is the greatest thing about the original trilogy. But we're not going to get that in The Rise of Skywalker because it's a Disney trilogy. They don't want to touch the prequels. They still know it's a sore spot, so that's why we don't get much from it. There's no comic line, there's nothing. The closest we're getting now is Kenobi, right? Because Ewan McGregor is such a beloved character, such a beloved person in the Star Wars community. Obi-Wan is such an interesting character. He's one of the favorites. He's the fan favorite because he's exclusive to the prequel trilogy in the Ewan McGregor sense, but he's also in the original trilogy as Alec Guinness. But Anakin only appears in the original trilogy at the very end of his life, when he's not even portrayed by Hayden Christensen, until the re-release of the original trilogy, when George Lucas decided to take some B-roll footage of Anakin and change his head and put him in there. That's the closest that we've gotten to it in our canon timeline. But other than that, there is no credible leak of Anakin being in The Rise of Skywalker. I know I've said that I don't know how many times in the last 5 minutes, but I really just want to beat that over the head. There's no credible leak, so if you see it, just discount it. If you don't see it from a credible source, discount it, okay? If Anakin's gonna appear, I'll make a video and I'll tell you, but he's not as of now. So with that being said, that's just gonna wrap up this, I guess, close to 7-minute rant at this point. So let me know what you guys think about all of the speculation about Anakin being in the movie. Let's just have a good discussion then. I'll be trying to reply to more comments than usual in this video, just because the topic is so been asked about by me. So this is what I know. This is what all of the best sources on The Rise of Skywalker in terms of the leaks community know. This is really, it doesn't seem, there's maybe a 1% chance it happens and we don't know about it, right? So let me know what you guys think again down with the comment down below. Again, be sure to subscribe, hit the bell, like this video, all of that. Check out my other videos, but thank you guys for watching. God bless, and may the Force be with you.